Hey guys, this is Steve Sheehan. We're at New Hampshire this week for this tight, flat track. This is going to be a good segment to do. These cars are a handful. You really got to yaw them out to get them rotating, and they're very loose to drive, so this is going to be fun. Alright, so let's get right into it. I'm going to go into turn 1. Keep an eye on my braking right now. I do not have any throttle. I am coasting. It's rolling really good. Coming off turn 2, going to bring it down to the white dotted line. Exit the corner nice and straight. Going to slide against the wall a little bit, but it's not going to affect me whatsoever. Into turn 3, I'm going to enter with my left sides on the white line. Going to slide up about a half a foot to a foot. Bring it back down to the bottom white line coming off the corner. Again, exit straight. Hit the line, 28.68. This track looks very, very simple, a lot like Indy. It just looks symmetrical, but it's really not. There are tricky spots all around this track, every single corner basically. It's really not exceptionally hard to set up for as much as it is to drive on. You really got to keep an eye on your braking, the way you're shifting the weight through the corners, how hard you transition back the throttle and onto the brake. Turn 1, you really want to get in there and not lock up the brakes. That's the most important thing. That's the thing that bites everyone. You're going to see me lock them up and slide straight up the track. You can imagine if I was going for a pass and I locked up the brakes like this, there's no stopping my car from sliding straight up into the guy above me if there was somebody there. So you're going to see it happen tonight. Turn 2, the rear of the car is going to want to yaw out. It's a little bit more forgiving of a corner than turn 4, but it's very easy to spin this car out or over-rotate and hit the wall with the right rear coming off exit. Turn 3 is probably one of the simpler corners, but you have to get on the brakes the hardest going into turn 3. Kind of like a road course braking zone. You're going to see people show low and possibly block late in the race. A lot of guys are going to try the slide job. It's very important to keep this car on the higher lane all the way around this corner, same as 1 and 2 even. You can make passes down here, but it's very tough to stay down there on the bottom and make it stick. Turn 4, the most important thing is to keep your car off the wall. This track tightens up off turn 4. It's a lot different than turn 2. And if your car is a little loose or a little tight, it's going to be magnified coming out of this corner because of how tight it is and how flat it is. Now, pit road and pit exit here, also quite a challenge, especially if you're racing a pack and especially if you have old tires. Now, I have relatively new tires. I'm going to come in. I'm going to use a little space in the yellow line for my braking point into the corner. It's going to be right there on the bottom. You're going to see it. That's when I'm going to yank the car down and get on the brakes. It's going to be a little snappy loose, but I'm going so slow at that point that it's going to be very easy just to kind of lock them up and save it and get down to 45. Now, pit exit, huge challenge. You can gain a lot of time. You can lose a lot of time if you get sideways. We have to keep our car beneath the yellow line all the way around and merge on the backstretch. Obviously, there's a wall right in our face to the left, and this car's already wanting to yaw out. If we lose focus for a split second, we will hit that wall with the left front, and as most of you iRacers know by now, suspension very, very sensitive. The racing tonight, the restarts, are going to be very, very tense. You're going to see some paint traded and fenders rubbed and perhaps some tempers flared because it's very easy to trade a little paint and get somebody a little loose, knock someone out of the groove a little bit. It's going to be a good time, and in 2 weeks we have one of the most fun tracks on the circuit for drivers, Michigan. It's very fast. We're going to be going over 210. Stay tuned for Michigan. Hopefully you guys enjoy the race tonight.